Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So, Vander, Mr. Belvedere, you made some money. Let's go see about a parent situation. So, I'm going to let Blue Jay describe for me what the neighborhood where your mother lives looks like. Where do you take Dawn? And I guess the other question, Dawn, for you to sort of think about, and for us, have you been here before? Have you ever met Marigold?
I don't know. I've never met Marigold before.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Okay, yeah, cool. So I imagine the neighborhood to be like every movie or TV show you've seen with like Jack the Ripper, where it's like, yes. yeah, like that. So it's
freshen your drink, governor.
So it's the buildings that are kind of like built out and wonky and mostly made of like, wood, probably, like very dangerous. A lot of times it's like one thing on top of another till like the whole street is kind of darker. Some of them use brick, but a lot of them don't, because that's probably like more expensive and pre-planning.
So is it the same as Whitechapel in that there's like a bunch of kind of less like fisheries or like tanning?
I feel like a lot of
the places where nobody wants to work and they're in that neighborhood.
Yeah, like the whole idea of like the dye from the fabric shops, like that they dye it here and it just runs into the river, and people will sometimes have just like pink or purple hands and feet because they were washing themselves in that river, and it smells really weird, and like you get used to it,
Well, let's come up with something. So like, let's call the neighborhood like White Hands.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's something that the people that live here, there's like a common job that involves like maybe like bleach in some way.
It's bleaching the fabric. Yeah.
So everybody has this like wrinkly, like bleach damaged skin on their hands. And maybe like on their feet too, if they're like down in the factory. Ugh, yeah, okay.
Lots of like eczema, cracked knuckles.
Yeah. Lots of like red. Everyone's eyes are like red, and like kids who were born in this neighborhood are like weirdly sickly and pale and kind of like red-eyed or pink-eyed. Yeah, lots of lie. Ugh. Okay, cool. Boy. Yeah.
It's a good part of town.
Yep. Okay. So Dawn, this is where Lucia leads you down into White Hands. And, I think probably this is the kind of neighborhood where multiple cults would operate, right? Like the dweller within, you'd want to like come and help these people because they're doing a thing that is abusing the body and the vessel is becoming damaged, right? They could do better than this, but also
you make them lotions.
Yeah, sure, I have a whole bunch of stuff like underneath my cloak. There is like pouches of things and tinctures, not like the real mechanical one, but like balms and things like that. Yeah, she carries that with her.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So in this neighborhood, I don't think there's a lot of people like out in the streets, just like running around. But yeah, you see people here and there, and they kind of like give you the glazed over too much chlorine in the pool look as you go. And
God, your eyes are just all the time.
Right.
Yeah. And like Dawn is pulling up her cowl over her mouth as she's walking through, like trying not to be like too like overt about it, but just like.
The neighborhood has an acrid ammonia smell. On the plus side, almost no vermin whatsoever. Like very few rats. Not a lot of roaches in this neighborhood because,
they all know better.
That's right. Yeah. Sinking ship and all that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
You walk past the squinting stairs and the frothy gutters of White Hands until Lucia leads you to a home. And where does your mom live? Like on the bottom floor of a building, or?
I feel like the bottom floor is actually cheaper because when it rains or gets wet, you have a chance of like there being some flooding in your house. So she probably lives on the bottom floor. Yeah.
Okay. So when you get there, you see the front door. There is probably a shuttered window, and by window it's like a hole in the wall. They don't have glass in this window. But above the door, as a little personal touch, there's a wooden sign. And it just says, "Mind your head." And it has a carved picture of an ogre, like holding their head with like little lines coming off it, like, "Ow, I bonked my head."
Oh, your mom.
Yeah, right. Because she's never had an ogre come visit her. But just in case someday one does, she doesn't want them to hit their head on the low door frame.
That's new.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
Has your mom been practicing for a while now, or is this something recent in the last month or so? Like,
I feel like I don't know how long the ogres have been down from the mountains.
I want to say
been in practice here.
So I'm gonna say 15 years. Like, it's been a while for like they came down like right after whatever the war was going on, right? Like there's like, oh, this is the time, and it's been a while. So they were here a little bit before or during the war and after. So it's just long enough for like Dawn to just be really weary with like how much people don't listen to her really, like, or her cults, her following.
It's been the last year or so.
Oh, interesting. We don't have very many humans these days interested in our message, so I'm very excited to meet your mother.
I'm sure she'll be. Just it's a bit crowded. And I like push up my sleeves because I probably know that like the second you walk in, it's gonna be like hotter than it is outside because there's some bodies in there, you know. And I just like knock like really loudly on the door.
Okay. So you hear a voice from somewhere further inside, the muffled voice that you don't hear the exact words, but it sounds like "I'm coming" or "hold on a second." But almost immediately the door opens and there's nothing directly in front of you, right? There's nobody, and you have to keep looking and looking, and then down. And then there's this kid, and they have long, shaggy hair. They're surprisingly well groomed. Like they're clean-ish. They have the same kind of like reddish eyes as everybody down in this chemical waste dump. But they're just wearing a diaper, like a cloth diaper. They're just little. They're like a 3-year-old or something. And they're just wearing like a diaper, and they're just standing there. And they're like push the door open and are just like looking up at the two of you.
I squat all the way down and I say, "Hello."
The kid,
did you miss me?
The kid runs away screaming at the top of their lungs, just like like flapping little feet, run off into the house. And so now you can see into the little foyer, and there's some immediately once the doors open, you can hear the sounds of like this is a well lived in house. There are lots of people living here. You can hear conversations. You hear maybe somebody is like putting away dishes. Like it's the sounds of a full and very small house. And there's
slowly unsquat and like, okay.
And there's this there's a little foyer area, and lined up on one side is, I don't know, like a dozen like pairs of shoes of varying sizes from very small to adult. And they're lined up, and there is a dead fern in the corner. There's a dead fern sitting in the corner, and there is there's another little like handmade sign that says "Bless this mess." And you can smell, you smell the human smells of people living in close proximity to one another, but also there's like an incense sort of smell in the air that's familiar to you, Dawn. It's sort of part of a like meditation starter pack that the the dwellers sell, like, yeah.
Did they get it? I wanted to come up with an apothecary place that Dawn would go to get stuff. And the only thing I come up with was Goops the Chemist.
Yeah, right.
So that's a nod to the UK. People who have Boots the Chemist. So yeah, that's the starter pack that you get at Goops.
Oh God, I hate Goops.
Okay.
I look back at you and like look up, and I'm just like, right. And like push my way into the room and just try and be like subtle while there's lots of screaming and yelling and talking and noises.
So imagine every place in a house where like you might get rain that comes in from outside, right? Any one of those places is like bleached white. So around the windows, the inside of the floor, anywhere where like the walls would leak, the plaster is sort of eaten through, and there's like rivulets of like white on the wall. The whole place has this very strange smell of bleach and sandalwood and human sweat. It smells like an elementary school. So you come in, and then around the corner comes Marigold, and tell us about your mom, Lucia. What does your mom look like?
So there are some similarities between Lucia and her mother, but most of them, it's the hair color and the eye color. They have like she has dark brown hair, and she has like the same dark green eyes. But she's about 3 feet shorter than me.
Yeah.
And very plump like I am. That at least is similar. And I would say like she has like the redness to her cheeks, but it's kind of like you can't tell whether it's because of the bleach or because she's just a rosy person. And probably she like the first kid we met is very like well put together and clean. She probably has an apron that is kind of like bleached at the bottom and like dirty in the middle that she wears when she's like cooking or working, and is probably in the process of taking it off while she comes to the door. And
And it was you who knocked on the door, right, Lucia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's coming around the corner, and she hasn't like seen yet. You hear her voice before it precedes her. And we hear her say like, "Oh, Lucia, I'm glad you're back from the..." And she comes around the corner, and she looks, and she stops, and her head slowly turns to Dawn.
"I brought my friend."
Oh, no. This won't do at all. I haven't made anything, and the house is a mess. And and she just like disappears. You hear her freaking out as she goes around the corner.
Oh no, there's no need for anything. This
Mama, please. And I like
you
follow her
into the other room.
Like kind of having to sometimes like nudge chairs under the table and stuff to get my bulk through the space, because I probably also have to duck a little bit if Dawn has to duck. And where in the house did she go to? Is there like a main room and then like
there's a central room. I think probably because the family's so big, she has to rent the floor above so you can hear the footsteps of your other siblings upstairs. When you come into the room that is used as the kitchen and the place where people eat, and you have to do it in shifts because they only own 4 chairs. So there's a small table, and sitting at the table are 2 of your slightly more elder siblings. And the little toddler we saw before, and the elder siblings are playing some kind of card game. As you walk in, there's a boy and a girl, and
they're all girls.
Oh, they're all girls. That's right. Okay, so there's the two girls. One plays a card, and she's like, and that's a 2 of swords on your. Hey, where'd the 4 of coins go? And we pan over, and the smaller kid has it in their mouth. She's got a jam in her mouth, and the other girl is like, "Potato, give me that," and like yanks it out of her mouth. And Potato starts crying, and the older of the girls picks her up. He's like, "Oh, Tater, come on," and like pats her on the back, and it's like bouncing her. And the 2 of them look at you. One of them, the one holding little taters in her arms, looks at you and is like, "Oh, Lucia, hi." And then the other girl gives you like an up nod and scowls and is like, "Where have you been?" And then walks out to smoke a cigarette. The place is
like an under my breath, like kind of growl noise.
Yeah. And then Dawn walks in, and everybody kind of shuts up, except Tater, because Taters is just making like gurgly noises. And then your mom, Marigold, is like, out, everybody out. I have a guest. And they like, she shuffles the other kids out into the back. There's like a like a courtyard out back that connects all of the houses around. Yeah. So the center of the block is like, there's a well. Do not drink the water from that well. Ooh, baby.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, there's a well that has a big, like, condemned by order of the city, like, cap on it. But people go and hang out there. But so they take the kids out back, and you are in the kitchen, and immediately your mom starts fussing, and she's like, herbal tea. I have some somewhere. And she's like going through her cabinets.
Mama, I thought you would like, and I turned to Dawn and I'm like, she doesn't have to stay. I thought you might, I don't know. You have similar interests.
Yeah. So when you imply that like I could make the ogre leave, she's like, no. That's and she turns around and she won't look you in the eyes, Dawn. She keeps looking at the ground.
Okay.
And she says, she's like, if I had known I was going to have such an illustrious guest, if someone would have told me in advance, and she shoots a side look at Lucia, I would have made sure to be more prepared. My vessel is unready for your holy presence.
Your vessel is fine, Mama.
Shush. Yeah. And she turns, she's like, honey, shush.
Oh my God, Dawn is just like so anxious right now. Like she is like walked into this crowded room, is like sweating now because she's wearing all of this clothes. And like when Lucy left the room, she was just like, oh God, like this is just like so much for her right now, especially because the smell is overwhelming. But she looks to Marigold and she goes, no, it's fine. You don't need to prepare anything for me. You're fine. It's okay. I came because your daughter said that you might want to be interested in talking with me.
Let's see if you can calm her down.
Calm her down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amber's voice is not very good right now for this, but I'm imagining the
quiet human.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So what would you?
So let's see. It's charm, probably.
Oh, I have absolutely nothing.
I think it's charm. Yeah.
So
I also have nothing in charm, so I can't help you.
Okay, great.
I will give you whatever the. Let me see. I gotta learn the names of. This is a trivial task
because she
will do whatever you say or she wants to. Right.
Okay. Cool. So a plus 30.
Yeah.
Charm.
And it's a match. Excellent.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Yes, she is blessed by your charm.
Yes.
Holy shit, I'm a little blessed by your charm.
Well, and I think that might be true, right, Lucia? Like, right. I think we get to see. So, I mean, describe your crit. I'll give you narrative control over this. What about this is, and consider it's not just impressive to someone who is already part of the cult, but because it's a match, I think Lucia is affected by this too. Right. She sees a side of you maybe she hasn't seen.
So I think in ogre culture, it's not taboo to touch people. And so without even hesitating, she's like comes over and like, my delivery versus what she actually gives is very soothing and calming. It's like, no, Marigold, it's fine. And she puts her hands, big ogre hands on her tiny lady, small, and like rubs it down and then holds both of her hands and brings. Is there a table in this room?
Yeah, in the middle.
Yeah, there's a half finished card game on the table.
Yes, and so I kind of just lead her to the table and sit down.
Just some mountains turned sideways. Okay, so she comes with you and she sits down at the table.
I hate you. Sorry, that was a comment for the game master.
Not okay.
I was like, I'm sorry that I'm calling your mother down.
No. It was Adam making a magic joke.
What's Lucy?
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Lucia's entire family plays red. They're all goblins. So, so Lucia, what's the reaction shot from there? Right when we look over at you,
I feel like it's and this is probably like most of the memories I have of my mother being touched have been very aggressive and bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And so what you notice, Lucia, she doesn't.
There's a little bit of a like.
Well, yeah, she doesn't flinch. Your mom just like accepts the embrace with no like it. Yeah, because normally anybody touches Mama, she's like just like stop, don't touch me.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's like calm, she's breathing. Everybody around here's got a bit of a wheeze, but she's doing. You can tell that she actually has been practicing, right? Like Dawn, you watch her attempting sort of the first circle of initiation, like calming ritual, and yeah, if you breathe, she breathes along with you, and she like, calms down.
Breathing.
And she looks, and then she manages to like look up and looks you in the eye, and she says, I don't mean to have caused a scene. I've never seen one of you up close before. From afar, certainly I've attended the seminars, but I've never. It's just I feel you've blessed this vessel. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, sorry. That's funny.
Out of character. Oh my god.
Yeah, out of character. Oh my goodness. Yes. But no. I'm actually blessed that you've decided to come to our seminars. Like, we came here for you. You are the one who is giving me the blessing.
And she says, I don't know if what's her nickname for you, Lucia? And like the more embarrassing, the better.
It's little Lucy.
Okay, all right. She has so little Lucy is what she would call you, but if she really wants to embarrass you, she calls you her little piglet.
Hate it already.
I know. So she says, I don't know if my little piglet would have told you, but I've gone through so many of these sorts of things. It seems like every other week there was a new way to save my spirit, and they never stuck. Not once, not until I visited you, or I guess until you visited us. What a blessing that was. I feel a lot better about my lot in life these days. I feel like there's hope. Don't you think there's hope, Piglet? And she looks over at you.
Yeah, it feels a lot better when you're not being beat up every week, Ma.
And she nods and she says,
there's a little bit of a like, you're being too positive for me right now, and I need to drag this down.
Oh yeah, and she's also like playing it up for Dawn, right? To be like, I am a peaceful, like how people talk quieter.
Oh
in
yeah,
church.
oh yeah.
And so she says, she's like, I think what they say is true, that soon we'll really see things change. That it's just a matter of time. I'm just so glad, and I have my family around me, and I think I'm on my way to finding the peace within me.
Wow. I think I'm interested in. So for Dawn, she knows that there's these seminars going on.
Yeah.
But she knows that the cults, the ogres who come down to teach, really don't put on seminars.
Yeah.
And so she's now kind of like questioning, like, what is she talking about, this peace within? Because she herself is more interested in how she's feeling. So she's taking this information and then she asks Marigold, well, the seminars that you're attending, have they been put on by people like me, or? And
yeah, she shakes her head, and she says, "Oh no, just other members, enthusiasts, folks who've maybe read a little more than people like me, more experienced acolytes and the like. They say they've been to all the most important lectures and perform the rituals and what have you. So we listen to them.
I see. Have they been selling you anything? Have you been using their products by any chance?
Yeah. So that's when she's like, oh yes, I bought all of the, they had a special on.
Lucia,
everything was
like,
half as expensive. And she starts telling you about these candles she bought. And then she says, and they say, if I come to just a few more, I'll be able to start helping other people make purchases like that too.
Gotta have those pyramid schemes.
I love how both
literally everyone. Everybody rolled their eyes or shook their.
I think Lucia, who had been kind of letting her mom and Dawn have like a moment or whatever, when she hears this, she's like, "Is that how you've been spending the money I give you, Mama?"
And she says, "Well, only what's left after I pay for the rent and I make sure everyone's fed. And we have clean clothes. I take care of these kids. I do."
What about school? Huh?
And she scowls and she says, "Well, there was a man who came down from the government and said that all the schools were to be closed for the time being and that everyone should just return to work. So we've been finding jobs for the kids. They promise the schools will open again as soon as things calm down, but you have to understand it's just not safe. These schools are a big target. You know, the royalists never wanted them around in the first place, and so they might cause trouble."
Wait, who's been working, Mama? If you needed more money, you should have told me.
And she shakes her head and she says, No, it's just they got to keep busy or you know, your sisters will get into trouble."
Who's been getting into trouble? Is it Teresa?
And she scowls at you like, "No, don't. I'm the mom around here." And this is when Dawn, you see the kind of like I'm being a good disciple thing kind of slip a little, and she turns on Lucia with this very specific fervor where she's just like, don't you do it. Like, one more word out of you about how to parent my daughters."
What is she beginning into? What kind of jobs do you have them doing? I told you if you needed anything, you should tell me. I don't want. And like, she's getting a little incensed and like a little angry, and the color is coming up in her face. And she's probably like trying to pace, but there's not really enough room around the table.
Yeah. There's definitely not enough room in here with the two of you looming over your little mom. So.
Can I just interject real quick?
Please.
Yeah.
Blue Jay, you were really excited about earning some corruption.
I want to. Yeah.
If you crush your mother's head like it's a tiny baby, you'll get there. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
No.
Now, to sit on the other shoulder.
No, I think the thing is she's like, have you been sending them to the fabric factory or the bleach factory? I don't know what it would be called. What would it be called?
I don't know, like the
refinery.
There'd be like an official name for it, but everybody would probably call it like the ghost house or like the ghosting house or something, because you know, you go there and you become a phantom, right? And so she says they don't all go at once. I have to keep some back to help me raise. And you can see her trying to remember what Potato's real name is, Patricia. And so she says, to help me raise Patricia. And they take turns because I know it's not a healthy job for them.
It's not a healthy job for them at all. You've seen the hands of children who started working there that young.
Well, we can't all go gallivanting about the countryside with our fancy friends from out of town, no, can we?
I do it for you. And she probably just like pushes like the table with her hands.
Fee, fi, fo, fo.
Like she does the whole like I smack my hands down on the table, but with so much force that it actually like moves toward my mother a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have you roll to intimidate your own mother.
Yeah.
Dawn has pushed herself way back.
Yeah. Right. Humans.
The mental peril. Oh no.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to inflict mental peril on your mom.
It's fine. That's
I'm gonna get the residual.
Okay.
Right.
So just a straight roll?
I think I'm gonna give you this is a challenging roll because it is your mother.
Do I get any bonus because I look exactly like my dad?
Cool.
Especially when I'm like this.
Wow, that's
This is where I want to do like a devil's bargain type scenario, right? Like you can do that, but you get corruption or something.
Yeah.
If that's the angle, then yes, you can bring it back and give yourself a -10 instead.
Yeah.
But that's a best. Okay.
There's
good.
this like she has her mother's like hair color and eye color, but like when the color comes up in her cheeks and she like starts like doing this, it's just like the mirror of her father.
You got your daddy's temper. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead and intimidate.
I succeed.
You do indeed. Okay, how much mental peril do you inflict?
Did it go? 10.
Ooh.
10 mental
Nearly the maximum. She's gonna faint. You knock her out. Like that's just it's too much for her. She takes a big gasp of bleach air and like puts her hand on her head and starts to stutter and like but I didn't mean to. And then she kind of her eyes roll back, and I think the perfect thing here is that Dawn, you have to catch her, right? She falls into your arms, right? Because you're behind her.
Sure.
Let's talk about peril. Let's talk about what mental peril does and how it works. So let's see here. Let's look up peril, shall we?
Yeah, peril's like the willpower bonus plus a certain number, right?
Is your peril threshold? Yes.
Yeah.
It's like damage, like physical damage.
But it's mental.
But it's mental damage, yeah. And what it normally does is as you gain ranks in mental peril, you lose access to your skills. So they cancel out ranks of skills because you can't think straight, can't remember your training, whatever. But further down the line, it can incapacitate you. So I think it's reasonable for mom to pass out here.
Unhindered, you're the model of health, blah, blah. Imperiled, you're operating under strain, and it takes rest to recover, right?
Yes, she's going to need to sleep it off. She gets the vapors, and I think she faints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom. Not sorry, Mom.
So I'm just holding your mom now.
I think that I see what happens kind of after I do it, and she like starts doing the like stuttering thing, and it just like recalls a super clear memory in Lucia's mind to like seeing that over and over again, that same kind of reaction. And even before Dawn reaches out to like catch her, Lucia has gone out the back door to like get some air.
Okay, take 4 corruption, Lucia.
Sick.
Yeah, I was gonna be 3, but then I was like, it's her own mother.
Yeah,
and the like using her trauma against her thing. That's a bad move. Okay, yeah. So you storm out, and Dawn, what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm going to take a moment to process what just happened to me, because I came in here thinking I was going on a lovely meeting of a mob to talk about how to take care of yourself and washing your hands and things.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have this passed out lady. I look around the room and it's like very awkward for her. Like she doesn't know this place at all. She's trying to find a place for her to set her down.
You look around and the camera would pass the room once, right? There's no one here. It gives another pass, and all of a sudden, there's this pale, kind of stringy looking teenager. And she's standing in the doorframe with her arms folded. She has it's either a tattoo or it's makeup of like a teardrop next to one eye.
Fucking piece of shit.
Her hair is like a dark brown, and it's kind of just like curtains on either side of her face. And she's wearing all black, except from the knees down. It's all gray because it got bleached. And there's little splatters of bleach. And she's just like folding her arms over her chest, just staring at you.
Hello, little friend. Your mother has seemed to pass out. Is there a place I could perhaps put her down?
Floor's right there.
What a piece of shit.
Oh, I mean, something maybe nicer. It's your mother after all. Like, I'm not going to just drop her onto the ground.
I mean, you saw what Lucy did. It's not like we have the highest regard for our mom or anything.
Oh, no.
Point taken. Oh, God. Poor Dawn. She's going to walk out of this room and try and find, like, was there anything in the room before? Could she peek her head out?
Adam made the point that there was an upstairs that you heard people in.
Yeah.
But I think
just add the mom to your inventory and be done with it.
Well, this is my mom now. I never had one, so
cue the theme to The Bodyguard as you walk out with mom.
I guess at this point, I guess let's just sit her in the chair that she was, or before, like
yeah. You just sit her in a chair, and she's not like dead weight, like she's passed out, kind of like she's coming in and out, and you set her down in the chair, and she starts to come to.
Okay, she's okay.
Yeah.
Are Marigold? Are you okay? Are you okay?
And she nods, and she's like, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Okay.
I just need a little air, and she goes the opposite direction and goes out the front. Like they've had this argument. She goes to the front because she knows Lucy always goes out the back.
Right before she like gets to leave, I just want to just take a moment with her and say, hey, Marigold, I appreciate the effort that you've been doing and taking our message and everything, but I need you to know that the people who are selling you this stuff are just trying to take your money. It's not about being good at something or good at the ritual or the practice. It's really about being good to yourself.
Let's see if you can get through. The cult you belong to is not the cult you think you belong to.
Yes, they have taken my words. Okay, all right. Let's go back to charm again.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on it sounds like you're being charming, but I'm
just like trying to reason, like you should not be spending your money on this stuff because it's not really about that.
Yeah, I think it's charm.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Did situation modifier? What would you like me to do?
Give yourself an extra 10.
So that would be easy. Is it trivial or easy?
It's,
routine.
10.
Routine.
Okay.
Routine. Oh, just routine.
Yeah,
okay, sorry.
Whatever the 10 one is. Woo, look at that 4.
Dang.
Nice.
Dang, that ogre power.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think she doesn't say anything. You watch on her face as there is a mix of a little bit of regret and a little bit of frustration, but mostly embarrassment and shame that she like fucked it up. But she gets the message, and you can kind of see like she nods and mutters something in the affirmative, but pressing the point is only going to like shame her further.
Sure.
Right? Especially from you.
Gotcha.
And
I'll let her go, and then I'll go find Lucy. I'll go out the back.
Okay. All right.
I think that okay, so I have the military upbringing, right? Yeah. So I think that like anyone who is in the backyard, I've kind of like in my like still angry voice, like made them line up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like checking their hands and their fingers for like the eczema or the like red soreness, and like rubbing my hands on their clothes to see like what quality clothes.
How many sisters do you have? There's one. I think the one inside is Teresa, right? Because you were kind of implying she's the
Teresa's
shithead.
a piece of shit.
Okay, Teresa's inside. She makes everyone call her Terry.
Of course she does. I have, because I was looking at the lowborn stuff, and they're like they have a lot of kids. Because
they're encouraged to. So the upper class can have slaves.
I feel like I have 5 living siblings, and they're all girls.
Yes. Okay. So Teresa is not out here, and one of your sisters is upstairs, probably like watching from the window, like looking down into the courtyard. Mm-hmm. So it's the two that were playing cards and Potato, and they're just
Tater.
Yeah, everybody does. And you have to pick Potato up from a puddle of bleachy water that she was rolling around in.
I pick her up, and I'm just like, I have her on my hip, kind of just like holding her while she like with strength more than with care, while she's like, no, don't hold me, I'm a baby.
Yeah.
And just like, like looking at my siblings' hands and like rubbing their like clothes between my fingers to be like, is mom cheaping out on these clothes so she can buy more cult shit?
Yeah. So I think based on that and like what you see, she's actually like, she wasn't lying. She's probably spending her like food money or like whatever money she would have spent on herself, spending it on that instead, not on the kids. The kids get what they need first.
Okay. And like, after, doing this for like the minute it took to like actually get them to like yell them into like standing and like actually get them to calm down, Lucia probably is just like, why? And this is probably addressed to like the the older one that was at the card table.
Yeah.
Not the one that did the head nod, but the one that had Tater.
Yeah.
I think her name is Philippa.
Okay.
And I'm like, why does mom have you working?
It's not mom. Government says we have to.
But in a place like that, really?
And Dawn, that's when you walk out.
Yeah.
And Philippa is like, I don't know, man. The government told mom told me.
Government is bullshit. And like Tater is probably like, and I'm just like, oh, take her. Gives her back to Philippa.
Yeah, you give her back to Philippa, and Tater's loudly and proudly pronounces, "I pooped." and then Philippa's
and
like,
Dawn claps.
Yeah.
Yay! Good bowel movement, child.
And so Philippa looks at you like, I have to go take care of this. And, we gotta, like, you're interrupting our life here, Lucia. Like, we were in the middle of stuff and then you came in and now everything's all, so there's a little bit of that, like, whatever you came here to do it and leave. Like, we love you, but you're interrupting.
So I put your mom down on a chair. She's awake now.
She'll be fine.
Okay. It's very well. Okay. This is very awkward for Dawn. So, Lucy, why did you bring me here today? Just to
she likes your crap. I don't know.
Okay. It isn't my crap. I don't know who is selling her this crap, but it isn't mine. I think your mother is being taken advantage of.
Wouldn't be the
but
first
not
time.
by me.
Yeah. But also you set her straight. It's not going to happen anymore, right? So do you mention that to Lucia? Or are you
Yeah. I
care.
was like, so I told her like to not buy into that junk that people are peddling. They're just taking advantage of her, taking the money. I see that you're trying very hard to provide, and I don't agree that with what she's doing with the money that you give to her.
I mean, you seem to have your shit together. Can't she go, I don't know, wherever you learned? I'm like just motion up and down.
Can't you fix her?
I mean, I wouldn't mind, like, if she's receptive, I could try and help out when I can, like in between jobs, maybe, if that's something you're asking of me.
And she's like, looks like kind of like she's back down from like the angry Lucia and looks kind of almost sheepish, especially to you because you're so like tall and she can look like small in your eyes. She's just like, you don't owe me anything. I just thought like if you knew of a not junky place.
Yeah, I can. There's very few of us left in where is our town again?
The city you're in, Phyllis. That's okay.
Phyllis.
Nobody in town knows what it's called anymore either.
Yeah, it's like this was something completely different when I first arrived here. It's it was okay, yeah, Phyllis now. Phyllis now, yes. There's very few of us left. But if we can try to help. I wouldn't mind. It's my calling. It would be more than happy to help her.
So then technically I'm helping you.
I mean, really, we're just all helping each other.
The more you know.
Do you have any jobs that aren't?
Oh, good question. I see what you're saying. That's a good question.
The only jobs I know are not.
I mean, I've resorted to doing the jobs that you're doing now, so
right.
We don't really have much going on in Ogre Town. That's a good
whatever.
question.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you could look into, Dawn.
Yeah, I
In the
could
future.
try and see if there's something family could do.
It's fine. It's not like anyone has it any better around here anyway. I need to go, I guess, talk to her again. You don't have to stay or anything. Can I? We were gonna sell those guns, right?
Yes. Mr. Belvedere took them, and I'm assuming he has done a fine job selling them.
I had to pay rent already, so I don't have as much as I would ordinarily. Could I borrow some money?
Ooh, this is. How much are you needing?
Just like a few crowns or whatever.
A
I can
few.
get back to you as soon as we get back to the inn. I just don't.
Okay, I don't think she's been. Okay, so I don't think Dawn has been shafted by Lucy before. So I can give you some. You are taking advantage of her goodwill. Like she's not even.
Should there be? I mean, it feels like there might be a
I mean,
role here.
It might be a role.
I
mean,
yeah.
I think. Okay, sure.
What kind of role do you think it is, and how difficult?
Okay.
Not you.
I don't think it's that. Honestly, I don't think it'll be that difficult. Like if she just watching this whole family situation has like really like pulled at Dawn's heart a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Okay. So do you think that this is guile or bargain or like what skill do you think this is?
Yeah, good question.
It says that bargain is commercial transaction, haggling, finding common ground.
I mean, money
with other
lending.
parties.
Money lending is a commercial transaction.
She's literally begging for me right now, which is under charm.
Okay, sure.
I was gonna say charm. It feels like
She's begging for money. Like,
all right. And do you want to give a bonus? You want to make it easier?
For her, I'll give her a 10 routine.
All right.
Okay.
So make a routine charm test.
We'll fucking see how this goes.
Oh, just missed it.
I failed by 1.
49 over 48. Yep. So Lucia fails to move you, Dawn. What is your response? What do you do?
Lucy, I know what you're going to do with that money. And gambling is not.
What do you mean gambling? I'm going to give it to her right now. She's in the other room.
I will go give it to her then.
So
and
Lucia
does that like instinctive like rolling up of her sleeves again. And she says, what? You don't believe me? Or you don't trust me?
Oh, I'm just saying I'd make it. I will just go do it for you, like on your behalf. She doesn't seem like she would want to talk to you.
She wouldn't
right
take
now.
money from you, Dawn. You should give it to me. I'm going to try to intimidate instead.
Oh, no.
Good. That's fun. Okay. All right.
Sorry, I was muted. Wow.
It's like because she knew she had just like that little foothold, right?
Yeah,
Just
right.
A little bit of a foothold.
Oh, that exchange was painful. I love it. All right, Lucia, make an intimidate test. I don't know. Dawn, is this harder or easier to do? Is it neutral?
It's harder. Like she is trying to it's now turned to violence.
Okay, so
challenging.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to check what my skill gives me. It's just when I succeed at an intimidate check.
Mental peril.
Mental peril.
I will break you. Okay, so go ahead and make that roll. Let's see what happens.
Oh, can I use a misfortune?
I mean, I can't stop you, and neither can anyone else. So,
Amber, plead the case. Do you want because now it's
I think it's way more interesting if she takes the fate point and tries to succeed.
Yeah,
I like
fortune
this.
point. Do it.
I like the
come on, dice to me. It's solid.
All right.
Fuck.
Go ahead.
Worse. Again, it always happens.
So Dawn, why are you not intimidated? What is it that is it like you're not? What makes it so that you're not intimidated in this situation? And how do you react?
I think it's more like, I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Blue Jay, about your character. But I think I know that you're actually a sloppy-ish fighter when you get really, really, really angry. Like you could be. A lot of the times I'm helping you with your fighting. Yes, no.
Oh, right. With the like ferocity thing.
Yeah.
Let me check what my chaos thing is.
Sure. Other than that, I have spells up my sleeve.
Okay,
so I would just cast a spell on you.
my chaos alignment is that the anger I barely contain explodes at inopportune times, burning both friend and foe.
That's what's happening right now. Yep.
So I feel like it could definitely be the case. Like that is the type of sloppy fighting, is that she kind of just like swings with both arms and it doesn't matter who she hits. So you probably like saw that with her mom and then like obviously here.
Right. So she's like, she can't really control her actions sometimes. And so it gives me, I can read her essentially.
Yes.
Like I know how she fights. I've seen it. And also like, if she really wanted to get too close to me, I would just make her go to sleep. So, or try to make her go to sleep.
Yeah.
Good night.
Okay. All right. So Lucia, when Dawn isn't intimidated, you just storm out?
Does she say anything?
Do I, Dawn?
Yeah. When I like,
the most infuriating thing would be nothing, right? To just be
like as soon as she's like starts to like you start to like flex at me essentially, like you're gonna go in. I just like quietly like turn and start to like walk away myself.
Gandhi.
And I think I storm past you. I'll like maybe even like shoulder check you and like open the door and I just like slam 2 gold crowns on the table and I say, this is all there is. And then I just like walk out.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Mom has made herself scarce. She's like gone upstairs.
One of the kids is there.
Yeah. And I think that as you leave, we see the 2 coins on the table. And we hear somebody walking up to the table.
Fucking
and as the camera pans back, we just see her take one of the coins, bite it, look at it, and tuck it in her pocket.
I fucking want to beat that kid up so bad.
So that evening, later, the 4 of you reunite back at the Flea and Flintlock, unless Mr. Belvedere somehow ended up at a different town.
I think he makes it back to the Flea and Flintlock only because he's with Vander the entire time back getting the lecture.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So come nightfall later on in the evening, as you've all finished up your tasks, you meet up again in the common room of the Flea and Flintlock. And I think it's probably uncharacteristically quiet this evening. Maybe everybody just got jobs and are out. So it's probably just the 4 of you in the tap room. There's no music playing. It's quiet. Everybody is either out or up in their room. So what do you do?
I think I am drinking heavily.
Oh, okay, sure.
And like brooding.
Yep. I wonder where Teresa gets it from.
We're a big happy family.
I would say Mr. Belvedere is also drinking. He can't match drink for drink, obviously.
I'm a lot larger than you.
100%. And he's a man who knows how to keep his pace throughout the night. That's the only way.
Let's see about that, my friends, because according to page 263 of this fine role-playing game, for every hour you drink, make a toughness test based on what you're imbibing. So, if you mix types of alcohol, assume the worst of the 2. So, let's see. What are you drinking? Cheap wine? Mead? Rot gut? Spirits?
I just gave all my money to my mom, so cheap stuff probably.
Yeah, you gotten your share of
Oh, have I?
initial payment.
How much
from
is that?
Vander. Whatever we talked about
So
previously.
20.
20, so 5?
5.
No. Your share of the bounty money. Not
Yes.
the
No,
pistol
you
money.
gave away. You
No,
haven't got
I
pistol
already
money
gave
yet.
that away.
Yeah, so you have no money. So Lucia, if you want to drink,
I have
maybe...
the silver and some brass.
Okay, so
there's some alcohol that's brass.
all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let me
Oh, there's
check.
definitely beer was a single beer was like 12 or 6 brass pennies. Might have been 6 brass pennies.
I think it was 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm drinking whatever the cheapest thing is and drinking it in quantity. Let me just I'll check what the
You know, for every time I've ever heard anyone make a roll to see if I'm getting drunk joke, I never thought. But it'll be worth knowing if you're tanked or not, because it'll tell you how to role play the last scene.
Tavern. Okay.
Beer by the stein.
Ale.
It's 7 brass pennies for a stein of beer.
Okay.
Ale by the cup is 3 brass pennies, but ale is like 2% water. Pretty much. It doesn't.
So it's 7 brass pennies for beer by the stein.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 sec.
Does anybody, Lucia or Dawn, do you
I
ask?
have had 6 beverages, which means I am officially not able to pay my tab.
Okay, good. Living in the future. So you've been drinking for, I don't know how long. I figure that'll buy you like a couple of hours of drinking.
Oh,
right.
2 or 3.
And you're Sam, and you're drinking right along with her, Mr. Belvedere.
How many drinks have you had? You were saying 6?
I think he said 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had maybe 3.
Sure. All right. So it is going to be a toughness test for the two of you.
Got it. And what's the difficulty?
Okay, so it's let's see.
There's so much rules about this.
I think that's
great.
it. It's just a flat. Let's just call it a flat one well, you got to make 2. One normal and then another one at challenging. If you're drinking for 2 hours.
Okay, so normal.
And what does this look like? Is it just like drinking as fast as you can, or is it like
At first, Lucia, she gets 2 drinks at the bar and just guzzles one of them because she's upset, and then is regularly drinking, although a little fast, the second, and then that's what continues. Oh, Belvedere got his crit.
Yeah. All right, so it's the first hour. Do 1 more each, and this one is at minus 10. This is a challenging toughness.
Okay.
I fail.
Okay, so you fail, Mr. Belvedere. Let's see if you also become intoxicated. The best first a match, and then a critical success. Turns out this is what Mr. Belvedere is good at.
Oh, man.
Why are you so good at holding your booze, Mr. Belvedere? Who have you been drinking with that gets wasted? Where did this come from?
You don't pass a plate of drinks without taking one along the way, and you can't keep your job if you can't keep your job.
Right, exactly. It's
That makes
and
sense.
1 for the master and 1 for Mr. Belvedere. Yeah, you're
Amazing.
oh, the top shelf whiskey. Yes, I see, sir. Whoop. Yes, it's not poisoned. You've got it.
No,
You're right, but you can't be drunk. So
Right.
yeah, okay.
Looking at it, it's
Of
and he's
course,
serving
That's so good.
All right,
of
so
the whiskey. Yeah.
So Lucia, for the next 6 hours, you have a +3 to your damage threshold. But right now, you suffer 1 corruption and 3d10 plus 3 physical peril.
Okay, so 1 corruption and sorry, what was that?
3d10 plus 3 physical peril.
10 plus 3.
Yeah.
So 13.
What's your physical peril threshold?
My damage threshold?
No, it's on. Hold on, it's on the first page.
Oh, that's not physical, isn't it? That's mental.
There's 2 different kinds of peril, but you track them in the same way.
Oh, okay. So a 13 would put me at PT plus 6.
Okay, so you take
because it's not quite. So is that imperiled?
That is this. Yeah, you have 3 levels because you started unhindered, and then you go up 2.
Okay.
All right, so you're drunk enough that you forget all of the skills that have 1 rank.
Which is all of my skills.
All of your skills. Yeah, so you just revert back to an unskilled, drunken moron. And you get that corruption that you so dearly desire. You cannot recover your peril condition track for 24 hours after being intoxicated because you suffer from a hangover. Right. So if you get your mission tonight and have to leave tomorrow, you're going to spend a hungover day on the road.
Fine.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
All right, so Mr. Belvedere is drinking Lucia under the table. And I imagine, what is Lucia like when she's drunk? Just like loud and obnoxious?
She's the type of person that drinks when she's angry and is an angry drunk.
Right. So she's just a shit drunk. So Vander, it's maybe a weight off of your mind because there's no one else in the room. Right. So there's no one for her to pick a fight with except you, I guess.
Yeah. Well, she wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Would she?
So Vander
doesn't think so.
Vander and Dawn, what are you two doing while these two are just like drinking the night away?
I mean, I guess this is, Dawn will turn to Vander and go, I know why I'm not partaking. It's usually something I would not put in my body, but why are you not joining our companions in their revelry as I look at Lucy smash something or whatever?
Oh, well, I have a bit of a date tonight, so.
Oh my.
Oh, quite a date tonight.
I just found someone to beat up.
Oh, who is it that you're meeting tonight? Does it have anything to do with our job?
No, just.
What do you mean you have a date?
Oh, guys, don't worry. I just had the lecture about tact. Let me tell you all about discretion. And Mr. Bolt, it's like, I got it, Vander. Wink, and pulls him aside. Well, life is crazy. And
I like Mr. Belvedere's fake sudden accent change.
So who are you pulling aside?
Mr. Belvedere is English during the day, but he's Frank Sinatra at night.
Oh, when he's drunk, it all shifts.
Yeah.
And so pulling Lucia and Dawn aside to try to pretend to give Vander privacy away from the trying question.
No, I shove you off when you try and pull me aside.
Of course, I'm 5'5".
You're like a gnat.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah, so Lucia, do you confront Vander about this? Like, are you feeling jealous?
It's somebody I know, right? You don't know people I don't know. Who is it? And she's like kind of antsy.
Well, how do you think we get such good rates from Euphemia?
So you done that before?
I'm not one to kiss and tell.
I thought you left that behind.
Well, I didn't leave my genitals in the revolution, Lucia.
Spit take, literal spit.
Oh my god!
No, you don't have to.
What is happening?
She's like, you don't have to sleep with people to get good rates. I could do stuff too,
Oh, the deeply unintended double meaning of that statement.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's so good. I could do stuff too, where you think you mean I could get us good rates by beating people up, but what you also mean is
I also have genitals.
I also did. Oh, that's so good.
And so Vander pauses for a moment, and the gears are turning in her head, and she's just making the very cold calculation of cool, so how do I diffuse my very large angry friend from murdering this person who I'm trying to sleep with, and also trying to get money out of? It's she has many competing priorities here.
And isn't drunk, which is helpful.
And, having gotten herself into this problem by flirting with someone, clearly the only way out is to flirt more. And so she reaches out a hand and runs the back of it down.
Hey, you big drunk idiot.
Just says, "Oh, I should have come to you, darling. I'm sorry. I know you're very helpful and very capable,
And she just like nods and has shut up and is
like it doesn't even take effort. It's just like a little bit of like, shush, you're fine. Interesting. Okay. And is that something that's evident like to the camera? Like would we be able to tell that this is special, that you were much more easily diffused than you were with Dawn?
Because we just had a conversation with Dawn where Lucia's body language was very like puff out the chest, like get in your space, kind of just like go like at you, and maybe like a lot of like movement. And when she was getting a little aggressive with Vander before, there was like that antsiness and like the like I'm getting ready to fight kind of. And then Vander touches her face and like her shoulders roll forward a little bit, and you can see it in her body language that she kind of shifts from being like aggressive to being a little bit more like submissive almost, like very quickly.
Yeah, so Vander like stands up, walks around so that she's like kind of over Lucia's shoulder, and like drapes her arms over and like leans in and has like a gold coin between her fingers and just says, look, I wasn't trying to, why don't you have a nice time tonight? And she just like pushes the coin into Lucia's hand and like closes her hand around it. Enjoy yourself. You've earned it. And we'll have some work tomorrow, I'm sure. And it'll just be you and me on the road again. And she like, I don't know, like touches her neck like on the way out or something. Like just
there's a little like shiver or like the like goose pimples.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically Vander is a huge fucking slime ball.
Yes.
And just like
I'll be honest, Dawn, I'll be real. I feel like we may have our issues, but we never treat each other like that. I'm just saying.
I know. We like to keep it real. Like real, no messy, no games.
No games. Not in front of company when company's around.
Backgammon is for when we're alone.
Does Vander like leave after that, or
I think she like walks over to the bar or something.
And I think that, I don't have a ton of presence of mind because I'm very drunk. But I think that Lucia kind of like shoves the chair back from the table, and it does like the skittering thing when it's not like appropriately pushed back. And she says, I'll see you in the morning. And then she just like goes outside, and I'm going to find a gambling.
Yeah. Go play some cards. Get drunk. You're already drunk. So
I'm so drunk.
I got this crown from my girlfriend.
I also don't pay my bill on the way out.
Oh, great.
Oh, nice.
So somebody, I guess probably Mr. Belvedere, is going to have to contend with Lucia's tab.
I'll cover it, but I'm taking it out of my cut. I tell you what.
Yeah, we can shake out the money later. So unless there's like anything else, I think you get interrupted. Any other conversation you might have is interrupted by the arrival of Euphemia, and tucked under one arm is a small wooden chest, and they've changed. They still have the turquoise teardrop, but they're wearing something like nicer now. They have like maybe a crushed velvet jacket that they've patched on the elbows. They've like done up their hair in a kind of like bouffant, like pompadour kind of thing. And they have a little bit of blue like makeup on one cheek. And the makeup we know is in short supply since the Beetleboro estate stopped making it.
Yeah, blue is a very expensive color.
Yeah, they've got this little splash of color on one side of their face, and they've clearly like gotten dressed up for the date. And they come in, and they see that it's pretty much empty, and they're like, "Oh, quiet night." And then looks over at Mr. Belvedere and Dawn and gives you a little wave with the free hand. And then to you, Vander, they say, I've been carrying this through the streets all evening, and I'd really like to get it somewhere safe. Should we conduct the rest of our business upstairs?
And Vander's like, oh, certainly. Let's see if we can't find the key for your lock.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think Yuvi is like, oh, I'm sure it's around here somewhere. And the two of them like scamper upstairs. So I'll let you, Lucia, if you want to make. Let's elide the gambling as just.
Oh
a
yeah,
roll.
like just make a roll.
Yeah, if you just want to make a roll.
Okay.
And then we'll do a scene in the morning. So let's see how.
Yeah,
There's a skill
like
for gambling, right?
Yeah, there's a skill for gambling, and there's specific like examples of difficulty and like what it would
Mini
be.
Mini games. Okay,
so
let's find
it says it's trivial to play and win a game against the uninitiated. It's routine to play and win a game against someone with 1 skill rank.
Yeah.
To like a standard is like just like a straight like guessing the number of stones in a large jar is what it says. It's challenging to fix a fist fight in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to play and win against someone with like
I see it here. So let's just have you roll, because we don't have a specific opponent. So you can just roll, make a test.
Okay.
This Yakuza. It is, yeah. First you have to race some tiny cars or something else, then do karaoke for an hour.
Okay, so I have my peril condition track marked, and then
Correct.
I just click gamble with no modifiers.
Mm-hmm.
Critical success.
Whoa, shit. All right. So you may have no memory of it. You may wake up in a dumpster, but you've doubled your money. So go ahead and throw another gold crown on there.
Should have given her more money. Damn.
Yeah, let me quickly check. Oh, I get a plus. Oh, right. That's when counting or cheating. Okay. I wasn't necessarily.
So you wake up a lot richer than you went in, and also badly hungover and in a dumpster, but
it's fine.
You got money. Nicely done.
Rather be in a dumpster than bust into the room and see Vander with the other person.
Take another corruption for gambling while blackout drunk.
Yeah. I might actually get a chaos rank, everybody.
Chances are pretty good.
You're gonna roll a fucking 10 and I'm gonna hate you for it.
So unless there's anybody else has anything else that they want to do in the evening, I think we can cut to the next day. Vander, you do indeed find that key that was around there somewhere, and after many attempts, eventually exhaust the lock's ability to keep the gold treasure within, and now you get it. And yeah, so you get the extra 40 gold crowns that was promised to you.
Shame on you both, honestly.
And the next day, the next morning, once you've all kind of once you've returned to the tavern, you're called by one of the people that work here, called to Archie's office, right? Someone's like, Archie wants to see you and your team. And so the four of you kind of called to the president or the principal's office. Lucia looks, I imagine, like garbage.
Yep. And I smell like
trash too. Yeah, smell like hungover trash. And everybody else is in a much better condition, I imagine. Unless Vander, you look exhausted from not sleeping all night.
No, just a healthy glow.
That's right. Yeah.
Mr. Belvedere pulls out like a handkerchief. He's like, "Truly, darling, if you need any help, just
don't touch me."
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have some tea brewed if you need it. Okay.
So you're waiting in Archie's office, and he comes in, and he's holding under his arm it's an envelope, basically like a folder. I don't know what the medieval term for it is, like a folio or something, but it's got a string closure, and the string closure is covered by a wax seal, and on the seal we see the three-sided pyramid in the eye of the Council of Illuminated Masters. And when he comes in, he looks a little like, I don't know, he looks tired, and he says, "Well, thank you for waiting for me. I know normally I'd have a job for you quickly, but this one took a bit." So he comes around to his desk and he sets it down, and he says, "This one comes direct from the council. It's an important one, but you've proven yourselves to be efficient and quick and discreet. So you need to know that the information contained within this dossier is for your eyes only." And he looks over at Lucia and he says, "Dossier means folder, love."
And she just narrows her eyes.
Yeah.
Like she's used to people
Like
underestimating her intelligence.
Yeah. And he slides it to you across the desk. And he says, Everything that I know is in there. But I'll say before you open it, and if you do open it, you've committed to the job. But it will be worth it. Bring this one in dead, and it's 500 crowns of gold. If you can bring him in alive, double that. And he looks over at Lucia and he says, that's 1,000, love.
Wow.
She like grits her teeth.
Yeah, I think Vander will actually comment at this point. Like, she'd let one slide, but now she's like, oh, she can count, love. Come on. And like snatches the folder and like passes it back to Bolvidir.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest, if it's worth 1,000 crowns, he can speak to me whatever way he likes. I'll be rich.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
1,000 crowns. Wow.
Yeah. You want to take a look? Open it up.
There's no going back.
Okay. All right. So you crack the seal, the sort of pale red wax. You open it up and you pull the string, and little bits of wax fall to the floor. And as you pull the papers out, there's a bunch of maps. And these aren't your usual like wanted posters. This isn't just like wanted Lord Fondlebottom 300 gold crown. These are intelligence dossiers. These are like spies tracking people. It's all this like information about this stuff. And then there is a portrait. It's a charcoal drawing, and it's not a wanted poster, but it looks to you, Mr. Bolvidir, like you've seen like portrait seatings of the nobility before. Like this is an official piece, and it's torn around the edge, and it's on like a canvas. And you immediately recognize the face that is on here. You see the aquiline nose and the sharp features and his long kind of greased black hair. This is a picture of Prince Maximiliano Federico Cesario Maria Esperine, known also as the Hawk in Hiding, third son of the former king and emperor, thought to be dead, and heir to the throne.
I'm going to stab him in the throat.
Perfect.
And Vander was like playing it cool, and so like she like handed it back and doesn't see the thing. And then everyone like goes quiet, and she's like, "What is this? Someone important?"
Yeah,
and like turn around.
Oh,
and I think that's the thing, right? You turn around, you look at it, and I think even Dawn, who is a literal alien from this society, even you recognize that this person is a very big deal, and should be a challenge to pick up, but worth the cost. He's the last living member of the royal lineage, and so I think that's the scene, right? Is like Mr. Bolvidir holding up the drawing, everybody gathered around looking at it. And the scene sort of fades out on that same shot that it opened with the, instead of the hawk wearing the crown, we see the man with the aquiline nose, and it fades out, and that's our episode. Cool.
Yeah.
So I know this is Blue Jay's favorite part of the episode. Let's roll. Let's roll that D10.
Get chaos. Please.
All right. So you either get an order rank or a chaos rank, depending on how much corruption you have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on, please.
I got 6.
Yes.
I have a 1.
Yeah.
So does that mean?
So you're fine. You get an order rank. Yeah, clear one. If you have 6 or more corruption, you take a chaos rank.
Gotcha.
There you go. All right.
I finally got a chaos rank.
Just
I only
9
need
to go.
9 more.
That's right. You could 2 and 1 now.
Yeah, 2 and 1.
Excellent.
Honestly, like I have to do that much garbage every single episode, and I still might not get a disorder.
You just gotta find higher, worse things to do. Like more.
I mean, I'm sure
like
in the
not
wilderness
just
there's
exactly.
more of
Here in civilization, we have rules about these things, but out in the wild,
I can murder
Everything's-
so many people.
We'll have you strike a bargain with an abysmal prince.
Yeah,
sure
I'll
happen.
find an abyssal prince. It would be great.
I mean, the thing is, you don't need to know where they are. They're everywhere. So all you got to do is just say the magic words.
I don't
Beetlejuice,
think it
Beetlejuice.
is possible to get more than 1 chaos rank at a time. You automatically get you automatically get 1 if you're above 10, and then you minus 10 from your score, and then I think the roll happens.
If you have a really productive episode, you can get more than 1 because if you get to 10, you get an instant one, and then you got to do it again and keep like something like that. We'll check on it. So while Blue Jay is looking that up, let's do some shout outs. Let's start today with Amber.
Oh,
yeah,
me. Hi. I am on social media as Rocket Orca. That's mostly I'm on Twitter. I'm a graphic designer, illustrator, and a co-owner of the Geekspective podcast network, where my show Shapeshift is in podcast format. It's about my GM journey. We also have a stream that we do on this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Don't Split the Podcast Network. We're playing Godbound, a show called Tales from Moxbury. I also have the Gathering talk show called Red Mage, Blue Mage, and you can find all that information and all my shows at geekspective.com or rocketorca.com.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Woo!
Nicely done. Andrew, why don't you go next?
I'm Andrew. You can find me on Twitter at Commuting Crow. I have a game called Girl Blind Moonlight, which will be coming out eventually. We just wrapped kind of beta playtest for it. Kind of at the end of January, and I also stream sometimes on twitch.tv/actualfactual. I'm currently making a modded class for Slay the Spire on Tuesday nights. I'm doing that. It's the champ, who is one of the bosses in the game, but as like a playable character. So
he's
me go through that.
He's the one that with the metallicized, right?
He's the like knight with the little crown who
Okay,
gets
cool.
really mad.
Who insults you? Yeah,
I'm trying to design a class that like echoes that stuff that he does and like the kind of persona of being the champ, but like before he got the crown, you know, like when he was a young, hopeful challenger, but still super arrogant. Yeah, that's the goal.
Cool. Masood, why don't you go next?
Sure. Hey, my name's Masood. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Marudeboy, MAHRUDEBOI. If I'm not here playing role-playing games, you can also see me with Jace Bell Must Die with Roll20. That is on Wednesdays. Though we're off this week. We'll be back again next week, but there's plenty of great stuff on YouTube and Spotify and other places to catch up if you're looking to get into it. But yeah, no, really Twitter and Instagram, best way to keep up. Currently, if you go to my Instagram, you can actually see some wonderful artwork that people have done for this project. Which is beautiful. And in the comment, ignore the fact that I misspelled. I used the wrong there. I know I did. I can't edit it without deleting it. But everyone else's artwork and their links are there. So like, go check out all the stuff that they do.
Oh,
please.
I haven't shared it yet, but there was a someone made a map of the world. They like figured out, they were like, all right, the forest is here and Esperine is here, and they added like Phylos is there, and they added the place where Vander came from. It's pretty cool. There's like a surprising amount for 3 episodes of really cool fan art. So
that's awesome.
I'd like at the end of the show, I want to do like where I get a chance to show it off on the break, show everybody's fan art. I'll put a little video together, but yeah. So if you're making fan art, make sure you tweet it at me. I'm collecting it for this thing, and we'll show it off at the end of the show. So cool. Blue Jay, take it away.
Hi, I'm Blue Jay. I worked really hard this episode for that chaos, so I'm so happy I finally have a chaos rank. It was my goal. I'm really, really enjoying this show, so thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of my roleplay and GMing, I do Descent into Avernus right before this at 1 p.m. Pacific on Mondays. And I am GMing a show on Thursdays at twitch.tv/table story. It's a Stars Without Number. I guess just series. It's not really a mini series. It's 8 episodes. So we're at episode 6, I think, this week, right before Valentine's Day. But probably no romance, just dying. Otherwise, you can find me on Twitter at bluejay_712 or on Instagram at bluejay712, and all my links are on Twitter if you don't know how to translate from what I just said, I guess.
Fabulous. Thank you. Cool. Well, I'll take the last one and then we'll bid farewell. So thanks for coming, everybody. And thank you to our sponsor, Andrews McMeal and Zweihander RPG, for making the show possible. And thank you for coming and watching, and Cast for doing such an awesome job today. we are going to set off into the wilderness and go find some rich people to chow down on. I think now that we're where we're at, I'm going to need to do some GM prep. So if you want to check that out, it'll be right here on this channel in 2 days. We do it Wednesday at 5. My schedule is always at on my Twitter. It's my pinned tweet at Skinny Ghost, or you can find me right here and on the YouTube channel doing the thing. And don't forget, if you haven't already grabbed it, the free profession, the Resurrectionist, is only available for free for 24 hours. So if you want to save yourself a couple of bucks, hit that corpse command in chat, go get it, download it, check it out. It's super cool. And if you use the bit.ly link that I'm gonna post up for you later, you should be able to get a copy of the Player's Handbook at a discounted rate as well. So that's it for us. This has been episode number 3 of Eat the Rich. It has been a delight. We will see you next time for more. Bye, everybody.